So last Friday, something that had been building up for a while finally happened. My boyfriend broke up with me. I don't think either of us were truly surprised by it. It wasn't this big, dramatic breakup with tears and yelling. In fact, we ended things on pretty okay terms considering everything. He broke up with me over text, which, let's be honest, is never ideal, but given the situation, it wasn't unexpected. We both kind of knew it was coming. Let me backtrack a little to give you the full picture. My ex and I have been in each other's lives for a while. We first started dating back in freshman year. It was October, and everything felt new and exciting. You know how high school relationships are. We were together for a solid 8 or 9 months, which for high school feels like forever. We broke up at the end of freshman year, sometime around the summer, but it wasn't this clean break. After we broke up, things were still kind of messy between us. There was this back and forth dynamic where we were kind of still in each other's lives in a weird, undefined way. That went on for most of sophomore year, and by junior year, it turned into this awkward situationship. We weren't officially together, but we weren't exactly apart either. It was confusing for both of us. Junior year rolled around, and by the spring of that year, we decided to give it another shot. It seemed like the right thing to do at the time, but looking back, I don't know if either of us really thought it through. We had history, sure, but I think we were both holding on to this idea of each other that didn't really exist anymore. It felt comfortable and familiar, but it wasn't necessarily what either of us needed. We started dating again in April of junior year, and at first it seemed okay. But as the months went on, things started feeling off. We didn't have much in common anymore. The person I had known back in freshman year wasn't the same person standing in front of me during senior year, and honestly, I wasn't the same either. We rarely hung out outside of school, and when we did, it felt forced, like we were going through the motions because we thought that's what we were supposed to do as a couple. I don't want to say that he was intentionally playing with my feelings, but there were definitely moments when it felt like he wasn't being fully honest with me about how he was feeling. It was almost like he was just letting the relationship drag on without really caring one way or another. I could sense that something was wrong, but I didn't want to confront it. I guess I was holding on to the relationship because I didn't want to admit that it was over. So when he texted me last Friday, saying that he had lost feelings, it didn't hit me like a ton of bricks. In fact, I think a part of me had been expecting it. I wasn't heartbroken, but I did feel a little hollow. It's a strange feeling, having a breakup that you've known was coming for a while. It's not like it hurt any less, but it felt inevitable, like we were both just waiting for one of us to say it out loud. And finally, he did. I wasn't angry at him, and we didn't have a big argument. It was more like, okay, this is over, and we both accepted it. But that's not where this story ends. In fact, it's only where things get more complicated. Later that same day, there was a football game at our school. Now, here's the thing, we're all seniors, and football games are kind of a big deal. Almost everyone goes, and it's one of those social things where you just show up whether you care about football or not. My ex is in the school band, and so is my best friend, which means that they were both there in the band section, doing their thing. Meanwhile, I went to the game with 2 of my other friends who aren't in band, and we were sitting in the stands, just hanging out and trying to enjoy the game. Of course, the topic of conversation eventually turned to my breakup, because what else do you talk about after you've just been broken up with? My friends were being super supportive, trying to cheer me up, cracking jokes, and doing their best to make me feel better. That's when one of them said something that completely threw me off guard. She looked at me and said, "Well, now that you're single, you can totally date your best friend." At first, it was just a joke. We all laughed it off, and I didn't think much of it in the moment. But as the night went on, that comment started to stick with me. I couldn't stop thinking about it. My best friend and I have always been really close, and we've known each other for years. We've been through so much together, and our friendship is one of the most important things in my life. So why did this random, offhand comment suddenly make me feel so weird? I tried to shake it off, but it wasn't that easy. The more I thought about it, the more it started to mess with my head. I ended up telling my friends about it because I was seriously panicking. And that's when things got even weirder. Instead of brushing it off like I thought they would, my friends actually started saying that we would be cute together. They were all like, "Yeah, you and your best friend would make such a good couple. And it makes total sense, you guys are already so close." But they don't get it. It's not that simple. First of all, My best friend is really close with my ex. They've been friends for a long time, and they're still friends now, even after the breakup. The last thing I want to do is create any kind of drama between them, especially since the breakup is still fresh. Can you imagine how awkward it would be if I suddenly started dating one of my ex's best friends? It just feels like a recipe for disaster, and I don't want to get caught up in any unnecessary drama. Secondly, I don't want to ruin my friendship with my best friend. We've been through so much together, and I value our friendship more than anything. The thought of dating them scares me, because what if it doesn't work out? What if we date, and it ends badly? I'd lose not only a relationship, but one of my closest friends, and that's a risk I don't know if I'm willing to take. I've seen it happen before. People get together, and when it falls apart, they lose the friendship along with the relationship. I can't imagine going through something like that with someone who means so much to me. And then there's the biggest reason of all. I literally just got out of a relationship. It's only been a few days since the breakup, and the idea of jumping into something new so quickly feels weird. It's too soon. I haven't even had time to process the end of my last relationship, and now I'm suddenly thinking about dating someone else? It doesn't feel right, and I know I need time to figure things out before I can even think about something like that. But here's the thing. Now that the thought is in my head, it's hard to ignore. I keep overthinking it, wondering if maybe there's something there. I don't want to feel this way, but I can't help it. And the more my friends push the idea, the more it messes with my head. They mean well, I know they do, but it's not that simple for me. They think we'd be cute together, but they don't understand the whole picture. So here I am, stuck in this weird emotional limbo. On one hand, I know I need time to heal from my breakup. I'm not ready to start thinking about another relationship, and I definitely don't want to ruin the friendships I already have. On the other hand, I can't stop these thoughts from creeping in, and it's stressing me out. I don't know what to do with these feelings, and it's all just so confusing. At the end of the day, I guess the only thing I can do is give myself time. Time to process the breakup, time to sort out my emotions, and time to figure out what I really want. Everything feels so uncertain right now, but I'm hoping that with time, things will start to make more sense. For now, I just need to take a step back and not rush into anything, because the last thing I want to do is make a decision I'll regret. Subscribe for more.